What's up, everyone? My name is Chikamoya and thank you for joining me today. So, what we're going to be doing is taking a deep dive into this idea of alcohol in Finland. Asking the question, are Finnish people drunks? It's going to be interesting. After having been here for almost 2 years, I feel like that alcohol stigma has been put on Finnish people a bit unfairly. And I'll explain, don't worry, because there is some truth to Finnish people enjoying alcohol, but it's not to the extent that the world seems to think. So I'm going to be listing off a few things that I think play into this and kind of help the Finnish culture maintain that stigma or idea when it comes to alcohol. Number one, alcohol in bars and restaurants are expensive. Really expensive. So it makes no sense going out to drink the evening away in a bar or restaurant. There's another place where you can buy alcohol, yeah, and it's pretty cheap. It's in either alcohol stores or it's pretty cheap. It's either in alcohol stores or in grocery stores where they usually sell beer. And beer can be fairly affordable in supermarkets and stuff. You're going to be having a night out and you decide that you want to get a bit lit. So you buy alcohol from the grocery store and you go home and drink. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, yeah, makes sense. And it's true. But where it kind of gets interesting is the fact that in a lot of homes here at least in Helsinki, noise levels have to be lower from around 11 p.m. So you're at your home, drinking with your friends, having a good time, and you know you have to be out of the house at 11 and then you're going to have to go to a bar. So what you want is to be as drunk as possible before going to the bar where you have to pay like €1,000,000 for a beer. Number two, Finnish people decide when they're going to get drunk. In South Africa, when you go out and you have a few drinks with people, because alcohol is quite cheap in bars and stuff, you can just sit there for the evening, and if the evening turns into something that's a bit of a party, then that's all right, and you will go home and you'll still have some money left. Whereas in here, that can't happen really, unless you're doing very well financially. The third thing that I think adds to this whole stigma is the fact that Finnish people like to binge drink. During the week, most people here seem to not drink all that much. Someone who's working a 9 to 5 can go the whole week without touching or even looking at alcohol once. But they make up that time of not drinking when they have a day off or it's a weekend or something along those lines. So what happens is you go a week or two without drinking and then you get a couple days when you can just go crazy and just drink. And I'm not just talking about, hey, a night out. I'm talking about binge drinking, i.e. you drink and drink and drink, go to sleep, wake up the next day, drink and drink and drink some more, and then have a day to recover before going back to work. So as a foreigner seeing this, you might be like, oh my word, what the heck is going on right now? And it's understandable, but you need to also understand that that's just the culture of it. The fourth reason is the people that I call drunks. Every country has them. Everywhere in the world you have the really drunk people. I'm saying the people that are so drunk that just being around them makes you a little bit drunk yourself. Where Finland is different is that the government is very helpful to people here. In general, you can get money from the government quite easily, which just to add, people have the right to choose what they do with their own money and whatnot. But in this case, some of these people use that money to keep on drinking, and they're able to keep drinking. And there's ways to get money here. You can recycle bottles, like, normal cans or like plastic bottles. If you pick them up from the street and you go recycle them, you get upwards of like 40 cents for a bottle at times, if it's a big bottle. But there's a way to continually get money. Then there's grocery stores where you can buy really cheap, really disgusting beer. That reminds me, when I first arrived here and I didn't have too much money, when I wanted to have a drink, I'd go to the grocery store and I'll buy this beer. It's called the Olut. It's horrible. It's really not nice, but it's really cheap. It's €1.25, which actually is not very cheap if you think about it, if you live anywhere else. Before I carry on, if you have any suggestions of other topics I can cover, just let me know in the description below. I'm really interested to see what you guys want to hear me cover. Anyway, these are just some of my thoughts, and just as someone who's been living here, I feel like I get a little bit of insight in some of these things, and it's great to see. I like it a lot. And I think Finnish people don't drink less or more than anywhere else I've been. In South Africa, it's a little different because we eat and drink at the same time. So it's quite normal 3-4 times a week to, I don't know, eat a pizza and have a beer at the same time. And you might do that a couple times during the week. And okay, we do binge drink too, but it's different. It's a little bit more spontaneous, but it's still no different than here if you have to add in all the alcohol that everyone consumes. At least that's what I think. So no, Finnish people are not drunks. They do enjoy being drunk though, like anyone else. But yeah, that's been me. If you like this content, please leave me a like down below and subscribe. I really appreciate it. I will keep making these sorts of videos if you show interest. But yes, Finnish people are not drunks. Until next time, you guys have been awesome. Cheers.